Okay, we're on to game 2 of this match. Deli won the first game and spotted everything, as is his wont. But as I said before, I think Addy is playing really well. Has a very good chance to get back in this. So I guess the first question is 3399 and 1 safe? Is 9934 and 7 safe? 9934 and 7 is not safe. Yeah, so what happens if Deli goes 1? 7935 cannot be set up from 5 to be in 2. We're just checking 5 setups, because if you only set up one way, I can just block the in-between square, so 5 is the only two-way setup. 9637 cannot be set up from 5. You'd need a 13 facing up. Anything which is a higher number left than down, unless it's a 9 left for sames, just can't be set up. So that also rules out 9934. So only 8773 and 6883 can be set up. 6883 needs a 4 facing up, does not have it. And 8773 needs a 5 facing up, does not have it. So 3993 and 1 is pretty promising. Now, Deli is looking at it, and he is going, that's my only card with a number to the right. I don't want to play that. I need to find something that keeps my 3993 that is critical value for later in the game. So what's he going to play instead? Could see 7494 and 1. Seems like a card that's maybe not that useful and creates a challenge for the opponent, similar to what he did last game. I could see noticing that Addy has a very bad hand going left and down. And maybe there's something that just clearly takes advantage of that. So one idea might be something like 8, 5, 7, 6, and 7. Because the only capture from 8, 9, 6, 3, 7 is comboed by 9, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And there are no captures from 4. This is a very bad hand for Addy. If Addy holds this game, it'll be a really nice achievement. This is not the game that Addy is going to get back in it. On the other hand, one of the recent times I watched a Deli game, his opponent played a safe starter, and I thought, okay, this is not a game Deli's going to win. And then he won that game, so, things happen. But I think this is a game where Addy will need a lot of things to go right to survive. It's just going to be dangerous. You could even play like 7-4-8-7 in 7. It's probably worse, but you have 7, 9, 3, 5, and 8 controlled. I guess it gives them a capture in 4 with 6, 8, 8, 3 that you might not want to give them, but you might just not care. You're happy for the game to be like left facing. Maybe you just go 3, 9, 9, 3, and 1 and say I have 1 and 4 and the game is facing the left and you have no cards that do anything. Like, and you have 2 9s to the right, and my 8, 5, 7, 6 is going to feast on them if they ever go in the middle row. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play it. Okay, he does go with the 8, 5, 7, 6, and 7 idea. Probably the soundest of these three ideas. 7, 4, 8, 7 just being very like, I think I can get away with anything, and maybe you can't get away with anything. And 3, 9, 9, 3, and 1 giving up all that rightward power. So this seems the nice compromise between the two. God, I wouldn't want to play Addy's position here. Just ugly hand. Obviously, in no sense his fault. So 9, 9, 3, 4, and 8 is safe. I'm not like super happy about it. I don't want the game to be going down. Maybe the main line is Deli plays 9, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And then you just feel kind of bad, probably. Yeah. Just feel kind of bad. Is there any kind of 9, 6, 3, 7, and 6? Probably not. Ugh. But okay, 8 is a legal move that maybe doesn't lose the game immediately. But maybe does. I don't think there's any appealing setups. The thing about going next to it is like all your cards are good corners there, so there's a decent chance you have a way to go next to it. Maybe the better one is 7935, trying to save 9394 for 9. But the thing about those moves is your cards just don't face the game. Hmm. Yeah, very tough spot. He does go for it. I was trying to figure out which card I wanted to just dump in 3, but I can't pretend that was going to be more promising. All right. You're Deli. You see everything. What are you looking at here? It should be noted, you still have 3993 and 1 whenever you want it. Is that moment now? Probably not. But you do have it. 9348 and 9 is the straightforward safety option, always appealing. 7487 in 4 threatens a same in 5. Remember, no Addy card in 5 can ever set him up in 2 to cover 3993. We already checked every card there. So if you do go something in 4 threatening 5 and they block 5, we know we have safety in 1 reply. We don't have to check it again. And we likely have pretty good cards for the endgame. But maybe there's some tie with 7494 blanking at the end. It's possible. So okay, 7487 and 4 is, I think, appealing. 9348 and 9 is appealing. 3993 and 1 is appealing. Anything else? I think that's all the moves that appeal to me. I'm gonna strike off 1. I think 9 is a valuable square, essentially. I'm not even sure if it is. But I think not 1. I think we have 1 for later. 1 is the least like dependent. 1 is very unlikely to be blocked immediately, and it is a square that like 7487 and 4 threatens 5, contingent on like 5 being open, right? 9348 going in 9. Well, Addy may be able to block 9 with something useful for him. He may not. Everything you can take 9 with, except for 3993, has like 7s facing up, but you have no play against those 7s, which just sucks. So I would probably be between 4 and 9 here. I would probably just play 9. But 4 looks really appealing too. I should be giving more than 1 move sequences. Because this is what I was talking about last time, like sequence of moves, then evaluate. So if you go 9, the question is, does Addy have some setup in 5? And I don't know if I said this aloud, but I did check it. They have setups in 5 for 6, but not for 4. So if he plays something like 8, 7, 7, 3, and 5, Deli can then block 6. And the question is, does Addy have a tie there? Maybe with something in 4, but more likely with like 6, 8, 8, 3, and 3. And my guess is probably not. So that seems really close to a win. So I'll evaluate that as very close to a win. We'll call that like an 80-20 or 85-15. 7487 in 4. I think the main move is probably something safe in 1. And then we can take 5. They can play 9637 in 9. We can take that with 9348. Do they have a tie at the end? Maybe some 6883 and 2 and we can't flip it. That seems farther from a win to me. So my instinct's 93, or not instinct. My vote is 9348 and 9. I think we're about to see 3993 in 1. We are. This was my third choice, but if you were a gambling man and someone said, right now, Deli says one move is right, and he spent 5 minutes thinking about it. Now, okay, what really happened was he spent 2 minutes thinking about it, 2 minutes playing X-Blade Chronicles, and 1 minute drinking. Okay, so he spent 2 minutes thinking about it and 3 minutes doing mental health help, right? Which is what X-Blade or Xenoblade, that's what it's called. I've never played those games. Um, he's doing that. I am I have 5 minutes, and I spent 2 minutes of it looking at the position, 2 minutes of it telling some random story no one cares about, no one remembers, and 1 minute being confused by something. That's probably what happened, right? Who are you betting on has the better chance to have identified the right move? Definitely Dudley. So I would bet on his move being better here. If I'm Addy, though, I am thinking, okay, I can take a second safety now. And given our board state, that's sort of all I could have aspired to in life. So maybe it's the time to do that. But there is a question which card. And I think the card we want to land in 5, like that we really want to land in 5 if we go 4 and they go safely in 9, is 7935. And the reason for that is if they go in 2, it doesn't work. I was thinking we have 9637 for 6, but then they'll have 7487 and they'll still take me. This is still terrible. I was trying to finesse it. Like, I need that card for 5. I need 9637 for 6. I need 6883 for 2. I have these 2 recaptures, so I need to put 8773 and 4 and figure out how to make it work. But the problem is, my whole thing doesn't work. 8773 and 4, 9348 in 9, 7935 in 5, it's 5-5, and then 7494 in 2, and 7487 is sufficient. Shucks. This hand sucks. There's nothing in 5 because we never set up 2. Okay, so 9? Anything in 9? Why would there be? Yeah, why would there be? So he's gonna play 7, 9, 3, 5, and 4, and he does. I didn't get it out before I clicked refresh and saw the move, but that is where I was gonna say. I think Deli just goes 9. But I could be missing something. What Addy really needs is to go 5 and 2. Specifically to have 6, 8, 8, 3, and 2 as like the final move of the game. Those are the only lines where he's tying, as best I can tell. I just don't think those are happening. Oh, actually, though. No, that was a bad idea. Okay, I found one other line where he's tying. 9, 3, 4, 8, and 9. 9, 6, 3, 7, and 6. Now, I'm not sure that ties, but if 7, 4, 8, 7, and 3, you have 6, 8, 8, 3, and 2, and you do tie. 6, 8, 8, 3, and 2 is the one thing that can save this position. So if Deli goes 9 and you go 6, if Deli plays either card in 5, you can play. Oh no, he's got you. Yeah, nothing works because he can play a 7494 in 5. And 7487 combos through 6 to flip 5 back, so 6883 and 2 doesn't hold there. Alright, so that's not a working idea. Ooh. Alright, so maybe 8773 and 6 instead. If they play either card in 5, you can play 6883 and 2. So the line is 9348 and 9, 8773 and 6. Either of the 7 4s and 5, 6883 and 2 ties. Either of those cards in 3, 6883 and 2 ties. And if you go 2, then maybe I can play in 3 with 9-6-3-7, flipping 2. And your remaining card, I think, only flips back 6, but I haven't actually done all the math. But I think that's right. No. No, 7, 4, 9, 4, and 2 there. 7, 4, 9, 4, and 2. Ah, but 7, 4, 8, 7 doesn't have 3, so you can just block 5 there. All right. I think there's a chance 8, 7, 7, 3, and 6 ties. Putting all the marbles on 8, 7, 7, 3, and 6. Man, it sucks for Addy. He's gotten 2 just horrible positions to defend here with 4 moves left. He has 5 minutes, though. And if you've got 5 minutes, you can check all the moves. We can try to prove this, but it is slower when talking aloud. If 9-6-3-7 in 2, they can go 7, 4, 9, 4 in 5, and they flip a card, and you have no captures because you have no left. You lose. We don't have to check any other lines. If 8, 7, 7, 3 in 2, almost exactly the same thing happens. 7, 4, 9, 4 and 5, except now you do have a capture with 9, 6, 3, 7 and 6, but it's comboed back by 7, 4, 8, 7. Okay, he goes 6, 8, 8, 3 and 2. Okay, the point is 7, 4, 9, 4 and 5. You have 8, 7, 7, 3 and 6. And you tie. 6, 8, 8, 3 and 2. Key move. Key move. Does this work? This might work. I didn't get to this one, but that certainly doesn't mean it doesn't work. Yeah. All right, I was trying to play it a turn later, and I was not getting it to work. But it looks like Addy is the wiser player of 6, 8, 8, 3 and 2. I'm gonna start putting the game to see here. 8, 5, 7, 6, 3, 9, 9, 3, 9, 3, 4, 8, 7, 4, 8, 7. Incidentally, this is sort of why I think the 9, 3, 4, 8, and 9 move order first was better. Is because here 3, 9, 9, 3 gave up 4, but there Addy never gets 4. So I think it might have been a better version, but yeah, as I said, everything Deli has said today, he's just been like, I think this, and he has output exactly what the solver says. So, which is pretty impressive. So I am very hesitant on this day of all days, April 3rd, 2025, to criticize. All right. So solver is saying not quite as dangerous as starter as I might have thought, but very dangerous. Okay. Addy's move in 8 was sufficient to tie. So we thought there were 3 options here. Deli played the option in 1. Addy has 9 ties there. I wanted 9. Addy has 1 tie there. Yeah, that was a better move. All right, and I thought the second best choice was 7, 4, 8, 7, and 4, which gives 7 ties. Now, the difference between 7 ties and 9 ties is by no means dispositive. Deli's move in 1 very easily could be much better or much better than 4. But only 1 tie for the opponent, and after 9, 3, 4, 8, and 9, you can go back in the video and try to figure out what you'd play. So do that and come back so you can be amazed by the move. It's not that amazing, but you know. The only tie is 7, 9, 3, 5, and 5, setting up 4 rather than 6. But that can be blocked fairly easily. But I guess then you're landing 6, 8, 8, 3, and 1. Yeah, okay, that makes some sense. I didn't notice you could set up 4. But it's only 1 tie. It's a really unpleasant position. Yeah, I think that was the most pressing move. So Addy plays in 4, which ties. And Deli plays in 9, which gives only 2 ties. One of them was 8, 7, 7, 3, and 6, which I found. And the other was 6, 8, 8, 3, and 2, which Addy found. And Addy somehow holds the tie this game. Excellent work by Addy. Now, I do think Deli's move in 1 was weaker than starting in 9, but like it applied a ton of pressure. I'm like, this gives up like a little win equity, but you still have just very, very good chances to win the game. But yeah. Whenever there's a tie from a really bad hand, like, it's not like Deli did something wrong. It's that Addy played well enough to hold this hand, which again is really impressive. Deli goes for the big setup, much like last time. Amusingly, Addy cannot capture from 3. He has to go 3, but he doesn't have the capture there. That's a cute way. I didn't spot this move. Nice, cute way to take the tie, Deli. And it's also the one the solver would have picked, continuing accusations that Deli is just giving exactly solver output every game. Yeah. Deli is very good at this. But really, really good hold for Addy. This very likely, in most players' hands, the series would have been over when we saw the randoms. Okay, Deli says he missed. Yeah, Deli doesn't like his move on move 2, his move in 1, and that Addy had some resource in 2 instead of this move in 4, maybe. Well, there is a move in 2 that ties. So 6, 8, 8, 3, and 2 immediately was a tie. Maybe that's what Deli means. I'm not sure. I should stop opening chat and then closing it again. But Deli says his move in 9 was bad. I'm skeptical that was bad. Yeah, I mean, 7494 only gave 1 tie. Maybe that was better. But 6883 and 6 there seems, yeah, I think Deli played correctly. Yeah, Deli also said, let's play guess a starter. Now, I didn't lock in a guess or anything, but I did think he wasn't going to play 3993, and 8576 was the card I think I talked most about. So I can pretend we can all agree, right? We can agree. I totally guessed the starter. I win the game of let's play guess a starter. Yeah. Interesting that on move 4 there are so many ties. Does everything in 4 tie? No, it had to be 7935 or 6883. I thought 6883 was going to be really critical later. My attempt to get 8773 and 4 to work a while ago did not. Cool. Other ties on move 4 were in, there was the one in 2 that might have been what Deli wanted. There were some in 3, and most cards in 9 did tie. Just not 6883, because as we know, 6883 was the key card. All right. Well played by Addy. Really well held. I would be very pleased to survive this against anyone, much less against Delial.